Hey everybody, it's your old Attic Daddy. I'm here with Shadow Man. We're going to go through a box of records. In fact, I should play the theme show for our the theme song for our show right now. If I got a box of records for you. And today we're concentrating. We've got a big, beautiful classic dairy box too, when they used to fit records. This is from the Sunnyside Dairy 40 years ago, so I think we're safe. I don't think they exist anymore. Comedy records. They were a phenomenon at one time. And if you pick up your records the same places that I do, usually Southern Ontario, over in Buffalo, garage sales, you can see how big they were at one time. There's a million Bill Cosby records out there, which have kind of fallen out of favor, of course. There's the First Family, the Von Meter album about the Kennedys and everything. But these are hopefully a little more unusual ones. So I was like I was 14 in 1969. So 60s TV, I mean, you know, they had all these variety shows, Sullivan, you know, the Hollywood Palace, or the talk shows, Merv and Mike Douglas and all that. And you know, what would you want when you were like 12? You either want to see a good band, might see the Animals, or comedian, stand-up comedian. And may I say, to greet everybody today, hello day! This is Marty Allen and Steve Rossi, too funny for words. Now these guys were kind of the post Dean and Jerry, where you'd have a smooth guy who sang, and then you had the clown. And like Marty Allen, and that was his tagline, hello there, and he actually changed it to hello day, you know. So that brings it right up there with Sammy Maudlin's How Are Ya? And here we are. Hello there. And this was on Spartan. This might have been their first album. Notice the lovely oil painting of them too. That must hang in Vegas somewhere, or is it a closet in Vegas? They did this. Allen and Rossi Meet the Great Society. Of course, the whole LBJ years, so that pretty well dates it to like 68 or so. And last but not least, Batman and Reuben. Holy bagels, Batman. We left our masks in the Batcave. And this is on Mercury. So I guess everybody, you know, there were so many record labels. This one, I meant to show you, this was on Reprise. So at the same time, you know, as Jimi Hendrix was on Reprise, you probably saw Jimmy in the hallway. Hello day. Jackie Vernon. I used to be a dull guy. That was his routine. He had a good run on that in the 60s with that shtick. The earlier years, when he used to hang out with Lenny Bruce and all those guys, he went as Nosmo King, like no smoking. But by this point, he was Jackie Vernon. What are you trying to say to me, Shadow Man?
I'm just giving you the countdown. 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Oh, okay. All right. It's good to know. Jackie Vernon. A wet bird never flies at night. I can remember him doing that routine on TV, going up and seeing a guru, and you know, he finally tells him that's the secret of life, and he said, the wet bird never flies at night? Is it? Guy Marks. He was also another impressionist who had a kind of a surprise novelty single, Loving You Has Made Me Bananas. Oh, your red scarf matches your eyes. He used to actually play that quite a bit. He was a pretty funny guy. He was, when he was on TV, he was like kind of a Jack Carter kind of word mangler. All right. Here's Amy. Amy Carter on Laugh Records. Now, Laugh Records were usually black comedians and everything, but they made a few different things. And this says people doing what the fun was going on at the Carter administration at the time. My Son, the Phone Caller. This is one of those albums where they make crank calls on people. I don't know why they have naked women on the cover, just sales pitch, I guess. This is Sammy Petrillo. And Sammy Petrillo is in Mitchell and Petrillo, and they were with Bela Lugosi, and Bela Lugosi meets the Brooklyn Gorilla, and Sammy Petrillo did this wild Jerry Lewis impression, like right over the top. You probably know who he is. Any horror fan will know that from the Bela Lugosi movie. You probably sat through it once. This was Will Jordan's Tapped Wires, something similar, crank call kind of thing. He was an impressionist too, Will Jordan, very good one. He just didn't get to the level of Frank Gorshin or some other highlight. I'm gonna have a drink.
Cheers.
Dear Josie, you, Shadow Man, thank you for producing the show. High tech today. Myron Cohen.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Oy vey.
one of those dialogue comedy, yeah. Kind of stuff that I think probably because of Mad Magazine, there was a lot of references that you'd get when you were a kid, you know? Because that New York humor. Oh, Jackie Leonard, Scream on Someone You Love Today. So, he was a miserable guy with a little pork pie hat. And he used to insult and, you know, call Ed Sullivan a corpse and everything like that. But it's interesting, this is on Verve. So, you know, maybe they met the Velvet Underground or Mother's Invention in the hallway, and when they're at the Verve offices, trying to get paid. Ron Carey, Levitt on Barney Miller, but he was also a stand-up comedian. He used to do an impression of Richard Nixon's nose, and he did a thing why Ernest Borgnine and Ethel Merman got divorced, you know, hey Ernie! So, these references, up to date, I'm sure everybody's getting. Foster Brooks, one of the more famous drunk comedians, had his day, very popular on the Dean Martin roasts. Now, Mort Saw. Okay, this was a little more serious, eh? He's like, you know, I should have him in with my Lenny Bruce albums and things like that. That'd be another box to do someday. But anyway, he did go out with Yvette Vickers, who was in Attack of the Giant Leeches, so I think that's probably the reference of the day. Jonathan Winters, early Jonathan. Everybody thought he was pretty funny. Verve, again. Like, because these were coming out almost like the Purple Onion Beatnik school of things in Frisco.
He's Monty Fricker, right?
Monty Fricker, yeah. Used to do the old lady routine. One of my favorites, Don Rickles, hello dummy, you hockey puck, and everything. So it's two sides of him, you know, in Vegas, you know.
Making a living insulting people.
Yes, Frank Sinatra comes in, he goes, make yourself at home, Frank, hit somebody. So yeah. All right, it just keeps getting better. Pat Cooper, our hero. Great Italian dialogue comedians. And this one is live, and somebody in the audience is just going nuts. They think it's so funny. They're screaming like apes and everything. It's amazing. He gets into this thing, and they...
It's probably his family.
I'm sure it's all based in his family. And another funny album, but also another great parody, of course, of the whipped cream. Herb Albert. Sorry, I just had all these stupid things. I forgot Herb Albert's name. That's fantastic. All the spaghetti and everything like that. And of course, it advertises on the back. You can get our hero. Okay. Now, another person on Verve, Phyllis Diller. And this is probably, I think it's her first album. I'm not sure. It's really, really early. And she came out of all that Purple Onion San Francisco show too. And of course, everybody's after this one because this is the one where she sings Satisfaction, which is really something. And it's got a bunch of jokes in between. Jerry Colonna sings at your party. This is going really back. Jerry Colonna. Bugs Bunny picked up a lot of, or would imitate Jerry Colonna. Okay, here's the new First Family. This is the one after the Von Meter album. Again on Verve. Amazing. And this is, of course, the LBJ years. All right. David Fry. He had his kind of shtick with Nixon and everything. Okay. Phil Silver's Brass. This is enough to drive anybody crazy. Although I like Bilko. This is amazing that they actually had a die cut here for this Do Re Mi. Look at this. The shape of Phil Silver's head set into a machine. Somewhere they had to dial the knobs. More marches with, just because Phil's on the cover, they thought, you know, this would be good. Okay, Jerry. But this is singing. It's quite serious singing, actually. There's no like la 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 like you'd expect. I don't know if there's albums like that. There must be soundtracks from those films.
Somewhere.
You'd think. Okay. All right. Okay. Jimmy Nelson. He's the guy who had Farfel, the dog that was on the Nestle's Quick commercials, and this is kind of like chocolate. Yes. Danny O'Day and Farfel, and these are ventriloquism lessons. Okay, I could probably do a whole box of this kind of stuff. This is local, like, well, not local, but it's on Arc Records, I think, and Canadian, Laugh It Up with Ray and Rick. And there, you know, there was out of Malton and Hamilton, and people that put out local stuff around here, but that should be a separate box. But Rowan and Martin, of course. Everybody loved that Rowan and Martin because they were on Laugh-In. Okay, and these Laugh-In albums, when you get them too, of course they open up and have just like the wall in Laugh-In where they told you, and there's Goldie, Ruth Buzzy, all those people. Okay. Here's the other Laugh-In album. That's the second one. Alan Sue's. Hello, little kids. Hello. I'm Uncle Al, the kitty's pal. All right. And who else came out of Laugh-In was Lily Tomlin. That's her, One Ringy Dingy, the Ernestine routine, which was quite popular. And Modern Scream. Got a real National Enquirer cut cover and everything. I always thought she was quite funny, a real standout on Laugh-In. Now, around 1970, all the record companies were putting out the old radio shows and everything, and they all had very similar covers, a lot of neat artwork. A lot of it was airbrushed. Well, at the same time, they were re-releasing blues and the Bessie Smith double albums and everything. This is interesting. This is W.C. Fields' album, another one, but it's on Blue Thumb, which is a strange independent record company that Captain Beefheart put out an album in. So maybe that's the reference of the day. Either that or the Attack of the Giant Leeches. I'm not sure. Justin Wilson, I guarantee the humorous world of Justin Wilson. Or I was way up north, up near Shreveport. You know, he had his own cooking show on TV in the 80s and 90s and used to do Fritos commercial. Pardon my blooper. You see a lot of these around. I always wondered if these were a scam, if they just recorded these, or they actually were radio bloopers. And last but not least, Toadie Fields. Great humor. You know, what's these matzo balls she keeps making references to? Found out. And when she lost her leg, she was such a regular in Rev Griffin. She still came on there and did her comedy, but sitting down, they had a big potted plant in front of her. I can remember. But it's autographed. Now, I bought it like that, so I can't imagine someone's going to fake a Toadie Fields autograph. But sicker things have happened. Par exemple. And Toadie's going to say toodaloo, and I hope you enjoyed today's box of records. On behalf of the Shadow Man and myself, I'm Addict Daddy. Dig it. Thank you.